This is how to read a parse. All right, and what's going on here? So I should start off with the basics of it here. Combat metrics is an add-on that you're going to want to get. All right, and you can put it on a keybind and bring it up. And when you bring it up, it gives you a lot of information. All right, the most important information, okay, in here are this right in here. Well, actually, we're going to go through every section. All right, this tells you what your parse was. If you did a full parse, 21 million, because sometimes people will get a good parse, and then this will say like 19 million. Well, that means that you started with it, wasn't at full health. All right, and then you did 100% in there. All right, so that tells you a little bit of things in there. This middle section will also tell you a lot of information about things that you hear people talking about. What is my crit damage? All right, crit damage for me on this parse was 124, and my maximum was that, which 125 is the crit cap, so that's about where you want to be. Spell penetration. Look at this. I am over penetrating hugely at this, which is kind of happening in with the new target dummy that we have in here, and but that's okay. The thing about over penetration, why that's kind of an important thing, is that if you're wearing items or skills or something that give you too much penetration, you could swap that out and go do something else. Like I could probably swap out one of my light pieces for a medium, so I'm able to get a little bit less because it's just kind of a waste, and maybe that'll help me in something else. So you never know. All right. Over here tells you all the different buffs and everything that you had on you. All right. And then this window down here tells you how much damage, how much crit, all that stuff of each individual ability. Let's see, I've heard over penetration is a problem. It's like that in dungeon. Yeah. Well, here's the tough thing about with penetration is that when you're with a group, you usually have a lot of things contributing to giving you penetration. So you'll over-pen a lot. All right. But when you're by yourself, especially like in an arena or something like that, you tend to under-penetrate. So it's that fine balance. You want something in the middle so that, so basically, like I said, that you're not wasting a skill or wasting a piece of armor or where you could get damage out of it somewhere else. But that's kind of a high level kind of thinking with that. So that's why for this, I don't mind too much. Because I know I've got enough good skills and enough good stuff going on. All right. So that's this to get all this information. That's this little button right here in the middle. It's called Fight Stats. So that'll tell you all this stuff in here. The other button that you want to know is the info button. This is really important because if somebody sends me just their info button, I can help them with what their build looks like and if there's any armor changes or stuff. So look at this. So fight stats is the important one, and then the second one is info. I call it like the back page. This is a snapshot. Actually, if you took a snapshot of this would give you everything for the build. I could give you, like I said, I usually put out my videos, and people put out videos and stuff like that. But if you know how to read this tells you everything you need to know. All right? This is called combat metrics. That's the add-on. All right? So, yeah, screenshot this, everybody. So let's look in these top ones here first. This is showing what's on my front bar and what's on my back bar. So from this, you could get my skills, and it gives you what the name of the skills are. Barb Trap, Molten Whip, Engulfing Flames, all right? All of that in there. All right? What do I have in my back bar? Scalding Rune, Eruption, and so forth. It also tells you, the only other column in here that you really need is your misses. Because when people say, oh, your light attack weaving, how well do you do with your light attack weaving in here. You approve it because of all the fishing stuff? Thank you. I can see where I miss things. I missed a light attack on my barbed trap. 9 of them on my molten whip. All right. Actually, the others are really good because you always will miss a few. So again, these windows tell me what skills I'm using, how I did as far as missing them with my light attack weave, and then the weaving average. The average time wasted between 2 skill casts, which you want to get it under 0.1. And so you see I did really good. I did 0.071. So I got that underneath like that. Your misses are like 68. Yeah. Well, that's why I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. Because when people say they've missed that much in these weaves, okay, that's why you don't have that high damage. It's actually as easy as that. That's why we tell you to slow down and parse slower with the light weaving. Make sure you get your light weaves in. Because if you're missing that much, you're missing a lot of damage. Someone asked me last night, asked me last night what was the difference? What was the difference and stuff? Well, with this parse, I did really good. I got like 109. All right, 109K. If I missed, if I missed like 25 here and 10 here, or something like that, I would then maybe only get 100. Or maybe 105 or something like that. It's going to knock off a good percentage of my damage. That's how big it is. That's how big it is, everybody, for missing light weaves. So if you've got some that are like 60, 80, 100, something like that, that means you're just not getting the light weaves in. So you have to take it slow like that. All right. So continue on. So that's that. Then down here, you can see what my armor is. What am I using for gear? I've got a Pillar of Nirn with a Nirn trait and a Fiery Weapon enchant. I'm using Zons. I've got Divine's trait with a Magic enchant. Like I said, this tells you so much information about a build. So yeah, I always say when people have are doing real well, and I talk to different parsers and stuff like that, I'm like, can you send me your back page? I call this the back page. So I'm just like, can you send me your back page of that so I can see everything? So I can see, okay, how'd they do, what skills did they use, and what gear did they use, and what were the traits? No, this is a Magicka build. This is a Magicka build. And it's kind of hybrid because of, nowadays with everything that's going on. Yeah. Oh, it plays wonderful in the field. Yep, I've taken this through trials and dungeons and solo. Yeah, solo I switch up the helm a little bit, so I've got some AoE. I use Grofdar for fun. So, yeah. And then the final page, a final panel in here. This tells you what I've got for CP. The fitness and the crafting CP, don't really contribute too much to DPS in here. So you get to see what are the 4 orbs that I'm using. I'm using Wrathful Strike, Deadly Aim, Thaumaturge, and Master Harps. And you can see all the passives I've got in here. So this back page, I almost say that this is more important than the front page. If you just came in, to reiterate, the front page here is giving, the information of what was my DPS. Did I do a full parse because it was 21 mil, and I did 100%. I killed it all the way through. All right. What were my spell crit and crit damage? Oh, thank you, Dan. That's gonna go to our Nintendo Games Fund. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Daniel. 19,829,191, tipped $5.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Game? P.S. Hello, Daria.
Yeah, I did smoking. Yeah, I did. Yep. Yeah, daggers on it. Well, this is the things that have changed, and it actually works out great for a Dragon Knight. Yeah, Dragon Knight. Yeah. So yeah, and there's your spell penetration, and then all of the buffs that you got, all of your abilities and what they ended up doing when when they crit. All of that information is in there, and then the info page that tells you absolutely everything of what I was wearing and skills and all the stuff on my character. All right. And when you get your parse in here, there's a little button up here. A lot of people don't know that there's, if you can see it underneath, hold on, let me pull this down a little bit. This button right here, you shift left click this to save it in the combat log. So you shift left click it, it'll save it, and then you to open the folder, you click here. And it has all your saves down in here. So I'll wait for my little partner thing to scroll back. There we go. Yeah, and it has all your saves, which you can go back and you can click on. Yeah. So how's that? Did that kind of explain a little bit how combat metrics, how you read it? Does that help a lot? Because a lot of people are like, I don't know how to read this when I get to here. So hopefully this helps. Like I say, there's a whole lot of information in here. There's even healing stuff and all that. But as far as DPS and stuff, our front page of the stats.
Chingata Shadow cheered 100 bits.
Thanks, Jake, so much for the 100 bits. And then the info page. That's the two that you need to use to be able to read it. So there we go.